happen in here. And so otherwise I'm pretty much not very super prepared, to be honest. Let me know, please, if the stream, if there's any audio or video problems throughout the stream. I'll be checking the chat periodically. Or not periodically, I've got it right here on my iPad. But I wouldn't put it past me to miss stuff if I get really into what I'm doing. So, let's see. So tonight, I think what I'm going to do, I can't tell where you guys can see me and where you can't. Tonight, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple phases. First, I think I am going to put a couple more layers on, or at least one more layer on these screens, on these prints here. So that's going to be fun. And then, hey Eva, how's it going? I'm going to put a couple more layers on these here, or at least one layer. And then I've got some stencils. I'm going to embellish some of them, I think. And I'm also going to, yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's about it tonight. Thought I'd do something different tonight in the studio. Can you guys hear me okay? Everything all right? Everything okay? You guys hear me okay? All right, let's see. So first I'm going to make this camera smaller. Y'all don't need me this big. Then I'm going to turn this on. No, I'm not. I'm going to turn... Actually, I'm going to drag this to the front. There we go. And then I'm going to drag me to the front. There we go. I don't know. This isn't the greatest layout, but I'm going to be real small because I think you probably, I mean, I know you love to see my pretty face, but also you probably want to see this. The table. This is about as good as it gets. Let me know if, I don't know, just let me know. That's okay. So, hello Ethel and hello Eva. Can you guys see everything okay? Please let me know. This is a new thing I'm doing. Well, it's not brand new. I've recorded it. I've done the stream in here before, but I've got like new cameras in new places. I'm using new audio. I'm going to try to screen print tonight. And that's going to be pretty fun. And I'm also like stepping around wires, bunch of wires. At any minute, this could all come crashing down. At any minute, like things could start falling out of the ceiling. Don't know exactly what's going to happen. Let's see. So, first, I think I have to load up a new screen for a new layer. Do I or don't I? Let's see. Well, I'll put a few layers down of this screen, and we'll see if it. I mean, I want to make it like fun for you guys. So, some of these things are a little bit subtle, and I'm not sure how cool they're going to look like live. So I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I'm going to try this screen out. Hopefully, it lines up okay. So I'm going to mount this screen. What's going on with this rock and roll? Electronic. You know me, I got to change the music a couple times. We're going to do some synthwave. There we go. All right. Also, don't be surprised if you see cats jumping like this past the camera. All right, yes, looks good, Eva says. Thank you. Great. Anybody who might be in the chat and lurking, please feel free to say hello. I know It seems like sometimes everybody that is chatting here is related to me, but that, even though they're very nice and they are chatting, yes, but everybody is welcome to chime in. Please do, right? This isn't just a family reunion, although it is fun to have my family here, gotta say. All right, here we go. I'm gonna take this bad boy off, and there we go. Can I define what you're looking at? Yes. So this is a board. I'm sorry. I should have. Yeah. This is my board that I clamp down screens on. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to show you a little bit about my process for making serigraphs, which are basically screen prints. Screen printing is the act of, and I can walk you real quick through the beginning of the process. Let's see. Let me start at the beginning with this crumpled up piece of plastic. I'm going to put this crumpled up piece of plastic right here. All right, so what you're looking at is this table is where I'm going to do the actual screen prints, right? I'm going to mount a screen, which is this thing, and I am going to put the paper down, and then I'm going to do layers of layers. The window of me is fuzzy. Yeah, that's probably my fucking autofocus. Don't know how much I can do about that. Let me see. Where's my webcam? Why won't this fire up? Webcam settings, webcam settings. Where are you? Where are you, webcam settings? You are not opening up. You know, I'll take a break in a little bit and I'll see if I can fix that. But I'm not gonna be trying to press buttons for the stream. You know what I mean? For like right now, we just got started. Thank you for letting me know, though. I guess I'll just have to be fuzzy. I don't know. Okay, good now. I'm having many technical challenges tonight. I got the iPad turns itself off after 30 seconds, which is awesome. This cat right here is really cool. All right, okay, so this is a table where I will screen print stuff. This thing here, this is what I use basically as a stencil. These are screens, which means that they are like a mesh, okay? They make different size holes for this mesh, but it's basically like a thinly stretched mesh stretched over a deal, a frame. Let me make myself big again. So that's what this is. And this orange part is emulsion, which is a photosensitive material. It starts out like a liquid, well, like a thick liquid. You scrape it on here, you make a thin layer, and what it does, it fills all these little tiny holes in here, right? Let it dry, and then whatever gets exposed to light hardens up almost like plastic. And whatever doesn't get exposed to light, you can wash back out of the mesh. And so that's how you get this, where you see these little shapes in here. And what it started out as is, this. So I print this out, and as you can see, and then I tape this to the screen, expose it to light, and then this black will keep light from hitting the screen. And so then you wash it out, and then you have your stencil shape. Okay? So that's what we're looking at. And then that's where you get this. I've already made a few, done a few layers of this. So these are prints. but they're all different. What I'm doing is I'm doing limited run serigraphs. Oh my God, like 20. That's what we're doing right now. Tripping over cables. I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. So I'm going to make myself small again. I really wish I could get my webcam thing to pop up so I could keep this turn this autofocus off. But if I do anything, I'm afraid of what will happen. So, we're just gonna have to wing it. We're just gonna have to hope that it goes well. All right, so here is a screen that I have right now that we're gonna do, and as you can see, it was made to be blue, so it's gonna be a cool color. I'm gonna print. It's gonna be lighter than this color. It's gonna be lighter and cooler than the color that I already have on here. Is what I'm shooting for. I'm not gonna promise that that's exactly what's gonna happen, but. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to keep me out of the way, but I mean, you definitely, yeah, let me know if I should just turn my face off. But I know that's why you guys tune in, right? You see my face, my beautiful face. All right, here we go. So what this is on the table here is like a printout, and this is what I use for registration. So you got to put these pieces of paper on here in the same exact spot every time, and you have to put the screen on here in the same spot so the layers that you print on top of each other will line up. So I can see that this is going to, yeah. It's going to line up pretty good. These are registration marks, so I'm going to, yeah, I'm sorry you can't see everything, but yeah, I'm lining things up here to get these registered. And thankfully, this one will register. Sometimes I got to move everything around to get it to actually register. Okay, so now we've got this screen down, and I don't know how this is going to work, because this is the first time I printed this screen. So I got to do something first. I got to do something else first. So I got to take this back off real quick, and we're going to tape it up first. All right. Hey, what's up, Sean? How's it going, man? Just going to do some some screen printing in the print screen print. Did that sentence make any sense? Probably did it? I'm taping the screen right now so we can put another layer down on some of these prints. I think last time you were here, I was marbling paper, and now I'm kind of doing the next thing, which is putting down some ink on it. Yes. So I hope everybody's been having a good week. What are you doing these days, Sean? You working? You living around our old hometown? Looks like I've got a spammer. My first spammer. Cool. Just gonna go ahead and block that person. All right, here we go. Easy as that. Still living in Hickory, HKY. Cool. I bet it's hot. I bet it's hot right now. Pretty hot here in Asheville. Like, one thing I noticed as I get older is that, you know, you always say that talking about the weather's boring. You know, it's like the mundane thing that you talk about, but like I'm interested, you know? I'm like actually interested. What's the weather like? Maybe that means I'm boring. I don't know. I don't know what that means. It's much more interesting to me than keeping up with the Kardashians or whatever. Is that a dated reference by now? That's probably a dated reference, isn't it? Is anybody keeping up with the Kardashians these days? Heather, how's it going? Illinois, huh? That's cool. You travel for work or you just hanging out up there? You up close to Chicago or? I don't know much about Illinois. So I'm taping this up because everywhere that there's yellow, ink is going to come through. And so I got to tape up all the yellow on this screen. Otherwise, ink will come through parts that I don't want it to come through. So that's what that was. And now I'm going to have a hard time registering it because I just taped up over the registration. So that was dumb. Hey, that was dumb. All right, so what that means is I got to take some tape back off. I'll just see if I can get it with one. See if I can get it with one. Trucking? All right, man. That's cool. Well, that means you're on the road a lot, I guess. That doesn't seem like too bad of a gig. I mean, it's probably not easy driving real long distances all the time, but still, it doesn't seem like a bad of a gig. Kardashians. All right, well, I guess I'll see how good I have this registered after we print the first one. Like, I'm not going for perfection with these. I actually think that mistakes are kind of cool looking on these. So. Oh, okay. So your dad's you took over his route or you took over his company? You guys have an independent trucking company, kind of? That's cool, man. All right, so this is going to be blue. Or bluish. Like when I say cool, I think blue, but maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be like for some of these other, it depends on what the color is, the base color is. All right, so we're going to do this now. We're going to do it. We get this out of the way. Owner operator, got you, man. All right, we'll do this one first. So I need to mix some ink. Man, this is the dumbest possible place I could have put a cable. Give me just a sec. Let me see if I can keep this from being in my way so much. Sorry, guys. I know I'm not on I'm like running around outside of the camera, but okay. So if I've got purpley purple, I'm going to make this like a lighter. A lighter blue. And see what happens with this, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna try that one. And I might mix a little bit of that in there. Electric blue, that would be cool too. We'll try that in a sec. You guys are gonna get lots of close-ups of like my nose and my face. Here, let me take some of these and put them in a different place so I don't have to reach so crazy. Electric blue. I've got fluorescent blue. The only problem with this stuff is it's transparent, so I gotta mix something else in with it. So, all right, we're gonna do that. I might mix a little bit of this green in it. Yeah. Oh, hey, guess what? We were talking about GMO last week, right? Genetically modified organisms and whether or not they were anything to be concerned about. So I went and I did some research on it in my normal fashion. I wanted to have something to talk about tonight. So I don't just sit here and be like, This stuff's good, man. If you have this in your local grocery store, I know kombucha sounds like some weird shit, and it is kind of weird, but it's also super tasty, especially this pink apple kind. When you don't drink, this is like my new, like, this is what I have instead of a cocktail. You know what I'm saying? All right, and it's good stuff, and it's good for you, I think. Sponsored by kombucha. Okay, so GMO, right? GMO, genetically modified organisms. At first, I thought like, you know, because I knew that apples and tomatoes, throughout the centuries and stuff, like we bred them to be tastier to us. Apples used to be like little crab apples. They all looked like that, and they were all like different sizes, and they were bitter, super bitter. They weren't sweet at all. And so people started breeding them to make them big and sweet and nice and what they are now. They used to look a lot different, dude. A lot more wild. And I was going to try to find some pictures, but I didn't because I was trying to get this stuff set up. But so hopefully this stream is watchable. I hope it is. Anyway, apples, tomatoes. Also, tomatoes were all they were all like little green cherry tomatoes, I think, like back in the day, and they were not tasty. And so we bred them. And so when people brought up GMO, I always thought like, well, like, what's the difference between that and just selective breeding, like we've been doing for years and years and years? You know what I'm saying? And so it turns out there is a difference. Like, you know, you guys probably knew this, but I didn't. I mean, they actually put genes from different species into the organism. Now, I don't think it's dangerous, but I can see now why people are a little leery of it. Because for one example, they put in corn, BT corn, they put bacteria, like a soil bacteria, they inject it in there genetically, like with science, right? And so they take a bacteria that is toxic to animals, toxic to certain insects. And this bacteria, what it does is it gets into the insect's gut and it kills them, which isn't cool. But it's not toxic to people at all. Like, we don't even have the receptors for it in our gut. So, but you know, when you say the word bacteria, we're gonna put bacteria, another species, into this one. And you use the word bacteria, it's not a wonder people get freaked out. I mean, that's a little crazy, right? All right, so it's real subtle. Might have to do a couple layers on some of these, but can you see that? Let me know if you can see it, if it looks cool. I think I might have to do something about the way these cameras are. What if I do this? Bear with me for a second, y'all. Give me this. This and this. Come on, bro. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it, transform counterclockwise. Maybe this will be a little better. So I can hold up the piece afterward and like show y'all what it is. What you think about that? All right, there we go. That might be better, I'm not sure. All right. So next I gotta get some cardboard. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Man, I got nothing but technical problems tonight, man. We'll figure it out. Let's see what electric blue looks like on here. Guess I should show you the piece first. Here's the piece. It's got some brown stuff on it, brownish. And I've got my little registration marks down here where I put the paper in the same place every time. Yeah, I did a lot of really kind of subtle things on this one. Subtle layers. And I might have to do, as I said, I might have to do a couple layers to get these to actually show up. Can you see that? Let me know if you can see that. I guess it's not super smashing, is it? It's not super like intense. Sweet. Thanks, Sean. Let's see. So we got, yeah, we'll put some more blue down. Put some more blue down. So another thing they do with GMO is they, there's this stuff called golden corn, and they they inject genes for keratin, for beta carotene, which is a precursor for vitamin A, and so they help people in countries where vitamin A deficiency is a big problem. And so that's another way that genetically modified stuff, I suppose you could say, helps. Yeah, I wish these cameras were a little bit better. I'll try to work on that, but it's real subtle, but I think it looks pretty fucking cool. So, and there was one other one. What was the other one? I don't know. And they were talking about like, you know, like they have strict testing and everything, but like I said, I know why people are freaked out when you say you're going to inject bacteria into some corn. Sounds a little crazy. Also, I guess some people are freaked out about the fact that we're just kind of just the fact that we're messing with nature, I guess. But you know, even though it's just like people, it's hard to be a farmer, even if it's like, you know, big corporations and stuff. And I think that this stuff helps people. What do they do? Oh, they also do something to tomatoes to make them stay right. Okay, I'll show you the print. They stay, they ripen slower or something. I don't know, man. My memory, I had this all together this morning. Now my memory is just completely freaking haywire. I'm trying to do everything, lots of things at once. Okay, so here's the print. Got some browns in there and some yellow. Now we're going to put some blue in there, which is crazy, but that's what we're doing. I'm not going to do blue for all these. I think I'm actually ready to switch after this one. You're not really supposed to do 2 layers, but I don't care. I don't care what the rules are, you know? I don't care about rules. So yeah, it's pretty subtle, but you can see now that it's got some blue in there, some blue dots. And, you know, it's just one more layer, just adding, it's like the whole effect of these are the layering effects, you know? So let's do something crazy. All right, I got this one now. It's really dark. I'm probably going to add a little bit of purple to this one. So, add some purple. And some white, probably, to make it a little bit lighter. Or maybe some yellow. I got a feeling this is all going to turn into brown sooner or later. So hopefully this is a fun idea for a stream, y'all. I thought I would do something different tonight. I did finish, well, I did a lot of work on the club sandwich, and so I will show you guys what's up with that. I didn't quite finish it, but I brought it along for those of you that might want to know where the club sandwich is. The haunted club sandwich that we were working on. Yeah, this made kind of a real desaturated purple because I mixed yellow in with it. Hardly shows up on here. I'll probably have to do something lighter on that. It shows up a little bit, you see on the corners there. I think I'm going to have to, this one I'm going to have to probably put down a couple layers of this one. Oh, I keep forgetting to show y'all. All right, here's this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, actually, let me find one where this lavender color would actually show up on it. Maybe this one. See how this one does. Yeah, this is like, I love doing this because it's so, it's just really cool to see what you can come up with and make decisions and not really, I don't know, just not really need to follow rules. It's just like, hey, this is probably going to be cool, and then you do it. It's fun. It's fun. It is very fun. think we're gonna switch to something that's a little more. We'll let those dry, and I'm gonna get the ink off of here, and we're gonna switch screens. So what are y'all guys doing? What y'all into this week? Anything fun? I was trying to think of like some great story to tell. You know, because my life is so super exciting. I've always got these crazy stories like, oh, I flooded my sink with meatballs. You know, crazy stories like that. Because I'm wild. I'm a wild man. But the biggest thing is all the stuff I learned about GMOs that I have forgotten just as quickly. To those of you that might be joining us, just joining us, I just wanted to let you know that what we're doing tonight is we're screen printing some layers onto some serigraphs that I'm doing. Doing a limited run of 20. And I did some marbling on the paper, which I'll show you in a second. And now I am putting layers on them. A lot of times when people screen print, they want to make the same copy over and over again. The same, they want them all to look the same. I like to use the same screens and stuff, but I like to make them all unique from each other, so they can be one of a kind, you know. And I'm going to do something extra cool with these that's going to be kind of fun, that I'm going to make sure we get to tonight, for at least a couple of these. What time is it? 7:46. Okay. So we're about at the halfway point. You guys get to watch me wash a screen. This is what you tuned in for, right? So when you wash these, really the only thing that I'm really concerned about when I wash these is making sure that the ink doesn't dry inside of the holes. So I don't care about getting every tiny bit of ink off of the screen, because it'll dry, and then I'm only going to use it like 20 or 40 times, and then it gets reclaimed, which means I spray it off and use it again. Just wiping off my squeege. Get shit all over the place. Usually I'm not wearing many clothes when I'm doing this, I'm going to admit, you guys. All right, man. Hey, be careful out there. Thanks for coming by, Sean. Have fun in Illinois. Acrylic paint, you can use acrylic paint on paper. This is water-based, so it's very close to acrylic paint if it's not exactly acrylic paint. It is like officially screen printing ink, so they might put some different stuff in it. But yeah, it says acrylic right on the front, so it's acrylic. They make other stuff. The t-shirt stuff is a lot of times plastisol, which you cook it, you hit it with heat, and it turns into plastic basically. But yeah, this stuff is, you can use acrylic paint. I'm not trying to get too super fancy tonight because of all the things I've got to try to figure out and manage. But acrylic paint will be in the mix sooner or later. With these other ghosts, I embellish them with acrylic. Speaking of which, I'm going to show you all a few ghosts. My goal this month, and possibly some of my, like Heather can help me, maybe. I gotta make some money. I gotta make some money this month. So my goal is to try to get these ghosts sold. So I think that a lot of these streams are gonna be like, I might even do, next stream is probably, it's not gonna be like me just sitting there trying to sell stuff to people, like, hey, please buy it. But I am gonna figure something out to see if anybody would like to purchase these limited edition. So I'll show you a couple of these that are embellished with acrylic paint, just a little bit. So these are, you know, these are mostly, a lot of this is screen stuff. See, this is a finished one, right? So it's got different screens on it. I did some like off-register stuff. Sometimes I do little embellishments, like this one I did put some blue in there, some blues. And I use markers too on some of these. This one's got a lot of paint embellishments on it. There was one in here. I sold it already, but there was one where I really embellished it a lot with paint. But I've got something a little different tonight that we're gonna do. So I'm gonna, here's what I know what I'm gonna do now. I figured it out. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the screen away. And we're gonna take the ones we already did and we're gonna put some boxing gloves on them. So we're only gonna do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna concentrate on these 6 tonight, see how far we can get on them. So Heather, I might need your help. I was thinking about, well, we could talk offline, but I might actually make you a mod on the stream, so maybe you can help me out. Squeege it. I gotta squeege it. All right, so we're gonna give these guys some boxing gloves. That's what we're gonna do. That's gonna be fun. Because I don't have to get as technical. Because I've got a smaller screen that lines up about like this. All right, so I'm also thinking, and with this one, I'm thinking a lot about color temperature, right? So color temperature basically is like the way that you tilt a color toward, you can tilt it toward warm or cool. And it's really relative. So blue is really the coolest color. Cool meaning it gives more the feeling of coldness. It's on the coolest part of the cool spectrum, and on the hottest part of the warm spectrum is like red or orange, you know, depending on who you ask. So if you wanted to do a warmer color on this, you've got a lot of room. You can go pretty much anywhere and get something that looks warmer. Thank you. Thanks, Heather. Oh, we'll talk about it this week. I almost called you today, but I didn't get a chance. So that being said, boxing gloves. Boxing gloves are always red, but I don't necessarily have to use red to make the boxing gloves appear to kind of be red. I could probably use brown. This pink is a little crazy. This pink is really transparent, but I mean, it's just burning a hole in my hands right now. So we're gonna see what it does. That's what we're gonna do. There's no such thing as mistakes. Didn't Bob Ross say that? I also said it. Yeah, the pink, you think so? Cool. So, what was I saying? Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna put down some pink. Like I said, this is a pretty transparent color, so I don't know how intense it's going to be on this ink, especially the first layer. Let me use this little squeege. All right, so flood it. I know that if somebody who actually does screen printing, like professionally, saw me doing half of this stuff I'm doing right now, they'd be like, "You're doing it so wrong." But hey, the final product's really all that matters. Pretty cool. So here's the thing, like when you do this, yeah, hey Seth, how's it going? Ethel, yeah, how's it going, Ethel? I'm gonna put some more. There are gonna be more dots on top of this, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that pink really does play on here. I like it a lot. But like once, so like, okay, halftone screens, right? Halftone screens are, in case you don't know, like a lot of these. You see how a lot of these are made up of dots. When you go and like, if you were to look at like a billboard is the example I always use. If you were to get really close up to a billboard, you would see that it's made up of dots. The dots are probably about an inch big. But once you get far enough away, it all turns into a picture because your eyes blend them together. You know what I'm saying? So you could do the same thing with what are called halftone screens, which means that now these are solid, so that's not a great example, but for instance, that cupcake on that ghost, as you go from that blue color, or that dark purpley blue color to the pink, it looks like a gradient because of the dots, but really it's just dots that are closer together or further apart. I hope that makes sense. So that's what you utilize to do these screens, like as you do different colors. But with this one in particular, I'm doing like solid, but then in order to get some shadows in there, I'm going to go over this with another screen that will put more definition in here and more texture, so it won't just be solid. But anyway, I think that pink's pretty cool, especially if I go in and do the words in that pink too. What y'all think? All right, we got a baby blue boy. All right, so this one is already red, so I'm not going to do that one again yet. And also, like, I'm probably going to go over a lot of these more than once too. So I spend a lot of time trying to get these worked out. Let me see if another one is calling out to me that it wants pink. Oh yeah, this one definitely. This one's like bubble gum, right? I think I'm gonna call this one bubble gum. It's like candy. It's like candy, boys and girls. All right, let's switch it up. Let's do some. Talk about some, well, electric blue. I don't know. I don't care about if the boxing gloves are the right color or not. You can still tell they're boxing gloves, right? I don't know if they necessarily have to be red. Kind of changed my mind now. I know I'm like talking and doing a lot of stuff, but I gotta make sure that I don't. If there's some of this stuff, like if I let ink dry in the screen, it's ruined. So I gotta make sure that I'm not forgetting some of these steps. All right, so I'm gonna do. I'm going to do some orange. Got some weird burnt orange. Put some of that in there. And then I am going to, do I have any fluorescent orange left? Oh, yes, I do. Well, that's kind of pink, isn't it? I go through so much fluorescent. I love it. Oh, that's why I have this. Forgot I got this. I got a whole tub of fluorescent orange, my friends. So I'm gonna do station identification. For those of you that are just joining us, I'm doing a small limited edition run of serigraphs, which is a fancy word for screen print. And so we're doing the stream from the studio tonight as I put a few more layers on these serigraphs. Right now we're putting boxing gloves. We're giving this hedgehog some boxing gloves. So that's how I roll. You know what? I think that that teal color is would be kind of cool to do for gloves, for some of these gloves. Taking some chances. Taking some chances tonight, kids. Oh, what did I do with it? My squeege? All right, I want to get to the thing that I was looking forward to doing the most. See, some of these are so transparent that they don't really show up on the first time, but it's also cool because you can see the marbling through there. You guys let me know if I'm not like showing these enough or whatever. My iPad keeps turning itself off. Let's see, what other ones? Just do a special, that's my special fingers. That one's like going to be $300 extra because I put my fingers on it. Here we go. You can see it. Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, it's highlighting. Yep. But then Yeah, I don't know. We're kind of reaching 2/3 of the way down here, but I don't think we're gonna see any finished pieces tonight, just because they gotta dry. And I mean, each of these are gonna get like several more layers on them. There's like so many more things I want to do to them. It's pretty hot right there. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say that's hot. All right, so let's see. I did boxing gloves on all of them, but this one. So let's see how this orange does. Looks really good, thank you. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do that teal color on this. Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can get by with not having to clean this screen up before I put teal on there. Because I'm a crazy man. Yeah. When I say teal, I mean whatever these two colors mixed together turns into. You got to try not to get it in the holes like too much, because you know, like if you do that over the actual holes, you're smashing ink into the holes. And so this is probably going to come out as like half orange and half you know what I could do to probably avoid that a little bit is wipe the front of the screen off, because there's already ink stuck in here, you know. I'm gonna wipe the front of the screen off and hopefully be able to just get this to go down as blue. Didn't work out too great, but that's what I get for trying to take shortcuts. And get some of this stuff off of here. I gotta get some of this ink off of here. I had a 50-50 shot of it working. It moved it toward teal, but didn't. It's not as bright as I want it. It kind of matches, it does match that other color though, doesn't it? It fucking matches like really good. How did I do stuff like that? How does that boy do stuff like that? Sorry, I keep forgetting to bring these closer. It's kind of janky looking right now, but I like it. Every little bit that you put on here, it's like adding another layer of texture, kind of, you know. So I don't think there's any wrong moves. Yeah, I've got so much weird gray laying around because of mixing all these colors together. But it does come in handy. Like if you have a gray like this, looks great. Thanks, y'all. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. This looks gray, but it's like anytime I need to lighten a color or darken a color, these grays come in handy. And then like, well, gray really is just anything. Like if you desaturate any color, it's going to turn into gray. And how you desaturate colors with physical pigments is you mix a color with its opposite on the color wheel, and it kind of pulls it all into the middle to gray. But within gray, you've got every single shade you can imagine. Like this is like a bluey gray. I mean, it's got that pink on top of it, so you can't really tell. But when I mix all this together, Well, now it turned into like a purpley gray. And it looks like mud, it looks like crazy, weird purpley gray right now, but certain colors, if you put this next to certain colors, it'll be cool, it'll sing with that color, like, yeah. Put a brighter layer on top next layer, the darker will make it, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. That's why I'm cleaning the screen up, because I want to put some more pure blue down. I was graying it out because I was mixing orange with blue, which are, like I just explained, in case you guys didn't already know, that like those two were opposite, so they were pretty much canceling each other out into gray. All right, so what do I have in the way of where I want to go with this? You're probably going to see my face real close up as I reach in here. Whoa, you know what would be fucking cool? Silver. Metallic silver. Mixed with just a little bit of this blue, just to give it a little bit of a color to it. Experiments on top of experiments. I love it. I love it. Now the only thing is, I think this screen is pretty big. Like they make different mesh counts, which means that they put different amounts of holes per inch. This metallic ink, it's got teeny tiny little flecks of metal in it. So you have to have bigger holes for it to go through. So I think this one is probably going to be good enough, but we'll see. I guess we'll just have to see. Only one way to find out. That's another thing, is that I'm not drying the water out of this screen, so the ink is probably not going through it. What a rookie move. I'm probably pushing water onto the paper instead of ink. All right. Yeah, I'd have to put way more layers on here to get that to show up as silver. I think I'm gonna have to just let this one dry, and then I'll do something else with it later. But it's looking cool. It's still looking cool, I think. Yeah, it's definitely going somewhere. All right, so let's see what happens if I do this. I want to use this silver. Let's see what happens if I put some silver on this boy right here. Our red boy here. You can hardly even tell it's silver anymore, can you? Ugh. Yeah, hopefully that dries a little bit more clear, but I'm gonna have to put red back on top of that. Yeah, that looks weird. But I'll tell you what, if I take another one of these, like this screen, oh Lord. This screen right here, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but this screen, do you see this part here? This is boxing gloves, right? So the way that these dots are on this boxing gloves, it's gonna put texture on top of those gloves. So that's gonna be cool when I get to that spot. Yeah, the metallic shininess. Yeah, I think once it clear, once it dries, it's going to look quite a bit different than it does. Not quite a bit. It's going to look different than it does now. I think it's going to dry a little bit more clear. But once it's dry, this is a great canvas to put another color on. It's going to pop really. Like you can put almost any color on there, and it's going to pop now. So, like I said, it seems like there's no real way you can mess it up. It's just a process, and at some point it's done. You can put as many layers on top as you want. You can smear paint on there with your finger like I did earlier. You can do whatever, man. I love it. I guess I'm kind of disappearing over in the corner. When I do that, I'm washing my screen off. So what I was thinking is, I just want to show you guys this. So we'll put this aside for a minute. And this week I got myself a vinyl cutter, and I made some stencils. So we're going to put some cool letters on here. It's actually a good one to start with. I'm going to use this marbling ink so I don't have to mix a lot of paint. And we're just going to try it out, man. So I'm going to probably put some different, I don't want to say slogans, but I'm going to put some different messages on these. This paint's a little too watery. It's too watery. So we're going to use something else. I'm going to use some crazy blue. It's hard for me to do airbrushing with this one because see the cup is like full of ink. Can you see that? You can't. Here we go. The cup's full of ink, so it's hard for me to like point downward with this airbrush. I have to keep turning this damn iPad back on so I can see the chat. There we go. What made me decide to make what? These stencils? I thought that it would be cool to do some different words on these. Also, I think it would be cool to bring in some airbrushing into these. So it's all just about experimentation, really. Know what I'm saying? This is weird. When I did this last night, it was not giving me so much trouble. Gotta move it back a little bit. It's not working very well on this. Yeah, the airbrushing is cool, but I'm just starting to try to figure out how to do it, you know, the technique. And what I really need to do is make some ink that's actually good for this. I've got very, very bad situation. No. Environment. Circumstances. I don't know, whatever word I'm trying to say right now. I've got a thing that's like rocking back and forth, so I try to do this. Yeah, if this doesn't work, I'll just cover it up. Or yeah, this paint's just not working very well. So, have to come back to that. Know what I'm saying? Probably have to thin it out some. Well, actually, I think I actually have to thicken it up some. But it's definitely the wrong consistency for that paper. I turned the pressure down, so it's like barely pushing any ink out, or any usually when I make airbrushing ink or airbrushing paint, I mix acrylic and I thin it out with a couple different things, but I put a lot of like rubbing alcohol in there, or isopropyl alcohol, and so it'll dry quickly as you're blowing the paint on there. That is so small for you guys, I'm sorry. Butts. I'm gonna do butts. All right, let's do a couple more layers and then we're gonna call it a night. I'll have to perfect this stencil painting. But yeah, I'm just gonna come up with some different things to write on there. Like, I thought about letting people choose what they put on there, but I also don't know yet. Oh my god, this sucks so bad. This fucking iPad keeps turning itself off. All right, one more letter. This is the most important artistic expression of the evening, by far. But this does illustrate something, and that is that I can make some cool lettering on those once I can get the ink in the right consistency. Okay. But y'all know that this is cool. All right. Let me just dump that in there for now. Let's see, what else can we do? I know what we're gonna do, just real quick before we finish up here. I wanna see how another screen looks on this when I put it down. Let me just rearrange some stuff here real quick, and I'm gonna do one more screen I'm gonna see how these dots look over top of those boxing gloves. So bear with me a second. I'm gonna switch these screen out. Change it in the settings next week so you don't. I know. I think I told you guys this before, but if I start the stream 3 hours early, if I start preparing for the stream 3 hours early, it'll still not be enough time. Like things will break until it's time for me, no matter what I do. So I can never get everything done in 1 week. Plus this is like a brand new thing. I thought I gave myself 2 hours. I thought 2 hours was going to be enough, you know. The kiddies have to be out of the room. Well, they often don't have to be out of the room, but I did have to move Boom Boom out of here earlier because he was getting very close to things that would have caused trouble. So they don't always have to go outside. But tonight, it was just had to happen because it's one less thing for me to have to deal with, you know. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure out a way to. Poor guy. Yeah, I know. He's probably sitting right out there. Let me let him back in. Let me see what he does. There they are. They're both sitting right out there. What are you doing, dudes? Come on. Come on, friendos. They're like looking at me and meowing like, how dare you? See if I can get this lined up good enough. I am very much over perfection tonight. I'm just gonna do it. It's hilarious, man. Like, okay, one of them already jumped up, and now he's up in everything. And the other one, the one I had to kick out earlier, he's sitting outside the door looking at me like he's like, I'm still really mad that you threw me out. All right. Yeah, see, like, I can already tell I'm gonna have to like let these guys go back out. Let me find a bright one or a dark one. Yeah, let's see if we can fix this or do something with this. Wait, see, yeah. All right, guys. I know. It's all about experiments. I don't think I've ever used this screen yet. I haven't because the front's not even taped up. I'm gonna have to be careful. Where's my big squeege? Here it is. So you put some more texture in there. Do they both sleep in the bed at night or up all night? Yeah, they sleep in different places. A lot of times they do. They jump up on the bed for a little while. They're definitely both, wherever they go at night, they definitely are both staring at me in the morning. When I open my eyes, they're both like there looking at me. No, I'm just kidding. I make it sound like I'm annoyed, but I'm not. They're pretty cool. They're pretty good roommates, actually. Yeah, this is, I didn't know exactly what this screen was going to do, but it is letting some ink out, definitely. So now you see it's pretty dark in the middle, so I'll probably, I think if I do some purpley for the lettering, it'll bring it back. It'll make it look more balanced. But here's a new one. Here's one we haven't messed with tonight. I'm gonna see what some purple on top of no color might be like. Some of these, I can tell, like, well, just in my opinion, some of these are not immediately benefiting from these layers I'm putting on them. Some of them look great, I think, but some of them are like, I got to keep working with them. But at the same time, like, this will all be steps toward the final product. That's why these things kind of take a while sometimes, you know, like I'm just doing all kinds of stuff with them all the time. Oh, this yellow, you see that yellow there? That's the screen that I showed you at the very beginning of the stream, actually. These shapes are the highlight shapes, and yeah. Like here, I'll show you one. I've just taken to dropping these on the floor now. I'll show you the one. See that yellow in the middle of his face and stuff, the highlights? That's, yeah. Because with some of these, you like the colors in that one? Yeah, it's cool. I like it too. That purple, the purples together are really cool. What was I saying? Oh, some of these, it's like you couldn't really tell what was going on in here as much because of the marbling was so, like this marbling is, I really like this, how this brown turned. You like the brown one the best? I like how this brown turned out, but when it's in front of the detail, it's, you know, can become visually confusing just a little bit. So I made this screen to kind of pull out some highlights, and so you can tell it's an animal's face more, you know? All right, guys, I think it's about time to wrap it up. I hope you guys had fun tonight doing this. Anything, you want me to show you the final products? I'm gonna show you the final one, where we ended up. All right, let's see. Tonight, we made this one. Put some blues in there. We did this one. We put another layer of dots on this one. We did some bubblegum pink. I think this one's going to be, I'm pretty partial to this one. It still needs some work, but I like that. I really like how that pink and that blue are looking. I think this is definitely going to have some pink lettering. And we got this guy, the orange boy. Yeah, I think You know what I might get some dark red, and the this is what I was talking, okay, I'm trying to say two things at once. I might get some dark red with the dots that I just put down, you guys saw me just put down, and see what it looks like on top of here, and like see if it'll pull it toward red any. But the other thing I wanted to show you is that, can you see that? Since this, yeah, it's not showing up too great. I can't really tell if you can see it or not. Sorry. In here, you can see some of the dots are showing through that orange. And so it's not like just like a flat color, right? You can see a little bit of texture in it. See here and over here. So it adds 3D dimensionality to it, but that's actually the dots showing through from underneath that transparent ink. So there's all kinds of cool effects you can do, you know? All right, there's that, and then here's another bubblegum pink one I really like. I think I just like that hot pink. You know what I think that I like the most about it is that I'm used to doing digital prints of my work, and you can't get this color with ink off of a printer. So that's why when I see it on paper, I'm like, yeah, that's extra cool. You can't, you know, printers don't make that color. And so then we get a couple more that I'm picking up off the floor right now. These ones are definitely WIPs. What I like about this one though is you see that weird color that, this is the one that I put the metallic silver down on, I'm pretty sure. And like then you put that purple on top. It's like, it's really cool because when you get closer, you can see how it's like a pattern of little dots. And then one more. I think one more we did tonight. That's this. This might have been the metallic. I don't know. It's got the same thing though. See the purple dots? Add some texture to those gloves. So what y'all think? Pretty fun. That's about it. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this, if you want me to do some more stuff in the studio. It's a lot of fun for me. I can do either one. I can go back and, I mean, we're going to switch back and forth, right? But over the next couple of weeks, I think, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I need to figure some way out to, in case there are any lurkers here that might be interested in buying some of these, figure out a way to have these up for sale during the stream. Or the ghosts, because the ghosts are the ones that are completely finished. Yeah. I don't know, is that weird that I'm trying to sell the ghost while making a new one? You know what I mean? Yeah, the studio is nice. I'm really, I feel super lucky, you know? I really do feel super lucky that I'm able to have space to do all this stuff and do my mad scientist shit. And I actually just kind of fixed it up or rearranged it. I mean, I've rearranged this studio at least 3 or 4 times since I moved in. And so like it's, you know, like I moved all the, what isn't weird? I don't remember what I said was weird. Still have access to the creepy basement. I do. I've got a storage down there, and it's not as creepy if once you go down there. So, but when I first started going down there, I was like, I wouldn't go down there at night. But it's fine. I've literally lived in this building for 15 years. If there was something creepy in the basement, I would have known by now. So, what the hell was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the studio. I moved all my computer equipment out of here into the living room for the other streaming space. So I've got like much more room in here to do my screen printing and stuff. And it's great. I love it. I feel very lucky that I can do it. I've got enough space. Especially in this town, man. I'm just cleaning this up while I'm thinking about it. So, all right. So you guys probably don't want to just watch me clean up. Never seen the basement? Well, I mean, it's not that creepy, really. I rented one of the rooms down there. Like the basement is the landlord's basically, like, for other stuff. But I did rent one of the rooms down there, tacked it onto my rents, and that's where I keep all my stuff for shows, like my tables and umbrellas and all that stuff for shows. So I was going to at one point try to use it as an extension to my studio, but I just didn't. I didn't like it. I got to be able to, like, just walk in here and start working at any given time with no resistance. So that's why I just kept it. I moved things around until I could just do everything up here. So what do you guys think about the stencil idea? I know that I didn't execute it very well tonight, but what I'm thinking is, like, I could do, like, you know, since all these have words on them anyway, I could do, like, you can change the message by adding more words, or do stream of consciousness stuff or whatever, you know. I mean, I'm really not going to write butts on all of them. Okay. Unless if somebody's going to pay me to write butts on it, I'll probably do that. All right, guys. Well, butts. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. All right, Joe. I love you. Thank you very much for coming. And once again, subscribe to the channel or the Twitch or whatever. I'm, like, streaming on lots of different platforms right now. If you guys want to see more of this stuff, I go live every Thursday, 7 o'clock to 8:30. Sometimes we do digital painting. Sometimes I do stuff in the studio. Yeah, you can find me, reach out on the internet, whatever. And thanks again. And also, please, like I said, everybody's welcome in chat. Please just, like, feel free to say hello or whatever. Everybody's really nice here. All right, guys. See you next time.